rain over 60 miles straight. Atlantic Beach is the only place you can stand at Highway 17 and see the ocean. Atlantic Beach was set aside during segregation. Atlantic Beach was founded in 1934. In fact, unfortunately, Atlantic Beach is only 4 streets wide. 96.4 acres of property in the city of Atlantic Beach. At one time, this was the only place that people of color could come and enjoy this wide body of water there. There was a cable, and the cable extended from the water line up to about the end of the pier. We didn't go over there in masses, but us guys that lived on the beach and mom and dad had their businesses here. We didn't have any problem going from one beach to the other beach. We used to have James Brown Martin games, Hamilton Rails. They used to come to the beach area and play at the nightclubs in Myrtle Beach. But during segregation, they had to live and eat in Atlantic Beach. Atlantic Beach started going more or less downhill right after integration. When we had integration, people of color that made monies, they could afford to go to the other places at Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach, Surfside, wherever they wanted to go. If I got a family coming from New York or New Jersey or any other place there, you look at Atlantic Beach and it appears to be very depressed. This event is the largest event here. And I think it's the 3rd largest event in the state of South Carolina. And we are the hosts. And we receive less than anybody else in it.
Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your hosts Edward McQueen and April Garner.
And we are live indeed. Good evening, all of our listeners, and to you, April. How are you doing?
Evening. Hey, Brother Edward, how are you?
Yeah, it's good. So today, as the promotion that we sent out, as that indicated, this is a special historic moment that we would like to share with our audience this week, and we're just going to get right into it because we're not pressed for time, so per se, but we want to get a lot in within this hour. Okay, so, and our special guest will help us to do that. Is that right, Ms. Mallette?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Okay. So, how are you doing, Ms. Patricia Mallette?
I am fine, sir. How are you all?
I'll let you tell the audience what role you're playing and why we have you here, which is so very important. First of all, Atlantic Beach needs to be told. Okay.
Yes.
Past and history. So go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience.
Okay. Well, my name is Patricia Mallette. I am a retired educator. I taught history for the last 30 years, and mostly in Horry County at North Myrtle Beach High School, and I've taught at Horry Georgetown Tech, and I'm working with Coastal, doing some research and working with the Gullah Geechee.
Okay.
So, but we have a special occasion that's coming up. And that's going to be, oh my God, I'm so sorry. We have a special.
They're alerting you of your special occasion.
Yeah, I am so sorry. We have a special occasion coming up on Saturday, First is September the 24th, and that's from 11:30 to 2 o'clock. And what we're trying to do is to tell the story of Atlantic Beach. Now, many people have from around here, and I'm sure you all may have been down here.
Tammy Graham. Oh my goodness, they're trying to get you.
Please, I'm trying to turn it off. So we're trying our best to. Okay, I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we are having the first part of the third part of our telling your full story for Atlantic Beach. And what we're doing here, we would like for people to come and tell their, not come, this is Zoom this time, zooming in and telling their story.
Okay.
Now, we are going to emphasize, because we know that Chestnut Consolidated High School was the closest one. We want to truly emphasize them particularly to come. And we also want all of our outlying area communities to come as well, to come and engage. When I'm saying come, I want you to engage this time in the actual Zoom.
Right.
And now, the Zoom, you have to call me so I can put you in. There are going to be categories. Like, for instance, if you were at Chestnut Consolidated School from 1940s to the 1970s, we will have you in one Zoom period. And then if you're at Chestnut Consolidated High School from 1971 through the present, at North Myrtle Beach High School up to the present, we're going to put you in another one. And then the neighboring Atlantic Beach communities like Horry County, like from the state, from different anywhere around the area, you're welcome to involve as well. But I need to put you into a particular Zoom. So that's why I want you to call me at my number, area code 843-360-9863. And let me put you, then I get your email, and then I will give you exact Zoom to go to on Saturday morning, starting at 11:30, like I said, until 2. And then we're going to do an in-person one on October the 22nd. And that's going to go from 11 o'clock till 5 o'clock. And we're going to be at the community center in Atlantic Beach. Now, the purpose for both of these is to tell your story. So, for instance, going back into the 1940s, as Mr. Skeeter just stated, we were one of the few beaches, not the only one, but we were one of the few beaches at that time that was actually welcoming and said, please come and visit our town. It was segregation at that town in many places, like Myrtle Beach says, we don't want you here. Matter of fact, if you're not a maid, if you're not, taking your children, my children, which are the white children, to the beach, you're not welcome to come into the water there. And they actually had Atlantic Beach at the time of segregation fenced off, because North Atlantic Beach is between North Myrtle Beach, and we were only 4 blocks, but we're in the middle of them. So they had water. They had
I guess it was a different kind of water then, right?
No, it's the same ocean, but they had wire fences in the water, so not to go across. The water comes across, but you as a Black person, you could not go to either side of the. And at one time they had piers too as well, but you knew not to go past those territories. So people got a chance to come to Atlantic Beach, and they came in busloads. Classes came, organizations came. Everyone wanted to get here and come and dance on Punk's patio, and the Gores had a patio. They had restaurants people could eat at. They had different motels you could stay over at. And many people, you didn't have the money, you just spent the night on the ocean, and you just enjoyed the ocean. And they tell the stories of them dancing all night long and just enjoying themselves and being happy because you worked so hard. Some of them have worked in those fields, and some of them have been loggers, some of them have been caddies, whatever you were, maids, working in motels and stuff. But you got a chance. And like you said, when the entertainers actually were, they would go to the places, to the motels and stuff, the Black entertainers, and entertain the whites. but they were not allowed to stay in Myrtle Beach except for the black area. So many times they would come here. So that's what he's talking about. You saw the coasters, the drifters, the Tams, Joe Tech, all kinds of people were coming here and staying here. And we want the people to tell the story of what their experience was when they were able to come down and enjoy themselves.
Wow. What do you think, April? Uh-oh. Can't hear you. Can't.
I said, I think it's an awesome, it sounds like an awesome experience, and I'd like to register because, I don't know anybody in Horry County, especially, Horry County when you think about it, because that's where Atlantic Beach is, but I can't think of anyone who is not connected to Atlantic Beach in some form or fashion. We've heard stories from our mothers, fathers, absolutely, grandparents, aunts, uncles, you name it. We almost feel like we were there because of the very poignant stories that were with vivid details and good times. And every single story that I've ever been told was always followed by, those were the good old days. We had a good time at Punk's Patio, that kind of thing. So, Brother Edward, I'm going to pull onto the screen some information that you shared with us. And can you tell everyone the name of the book that these excerpts are coming from?
Oh, wow.
Do you remember?
I sent it. Oh, man. I'll get it. I can't tell you right now. Just
okay. All right. Well, I'm just going to pull on the screen.
Yeah.
Whenever and these slides may be a little bit too small to see, but the book that Brother Edward pulled some excerpts from provides a very poignant history of, or a very detailed history of how everything started. From the purchase of the land to who the major owners and players were, the Kellys to the Johnsons, the Tysons, you name it. And so, even from just the few pages that I was able to review before this broadcast, it really brought home the fact that we truly have a gem in Horry County, the Black Pearl, and the significance of even that name, the Black Pearl, right, and all that it's tied to. And yet it's a sad story at the same time because of the connection to segregation and the fact that we were good enough to entertain, but we weren't good enough to stay, in other areas of the beach, and had to go to Atlantic Beach for not only, the purposes of accommodations, but I'm sure for safety reasons. So there's so much that's tied to Atlantic Beach. And now that it has the absolute designation of being the nation's only Black-owned beach, the nation's only Black-owned beach, and it's important now more than ever to preserve this history. And I read somewhere where it said that hopefully the town is moving towards some progressive measures to preserve the history, yet open up the beach to kind of diversify the tourists that come in, so that everyone can understand the story. And so, Miss Pat, do you see developments happening in that area that point to a strategic plan for development and newness in the area?
Oh, yes, most definitely. If you were to visit us now, and just put it even back 3 or 4 years ago, it's unbelievable. We've had 21 brand new houses in just last year, which I'm talking about 2021. 2022, we've had about there were 21 brand new houses. I'm not talking about a little bit of house. I'm talking about nice houses. And then 2022, we've had about 21 more brand new, very nice houses. And it is multicultural, so everyone is invited to come. It's not like that, but we are blessed that we do have a safe haven still that is majority Black, and we are increasing and growing with the land. It's not very minimal lots available. So that tells you that people have seen now, oh my goodness, yes, if I can just buy some. I get calls every day, and I'm not even a real estate person, but they want to buy a piece of this land. So yes, the land is here. Our history is here because it was started by Mr. Tyson. And as you said, He started off with 47 acres. Sorry, 1937, and just $2,000. And this man was able to expand, and he saw that, he could expand it even larger by inviting the doctors and lawyers and setting an association up. And his vision is coming. I mean, it went down for a while in the 80s and the 90s sometimes, and some of the 2000s, but we are coming back now, and it's such a pleasure to walk the streets. There are no crime. Our streets are clean. Our people are happy. I mean, it's just joy and it's peace and it's quiet. You can walk around. I don't know how to tell you that you couldn't be in a happier. I couldn't be in a happier place in this time in my life, and I pray that others will come back and see the history. We are trying to put up one of the grants that we have is that where we're going to actually do 4 walkways over the dunes, and then we're going to do like storage signs and things telling stories of Atlantic Beach. That's one of the reasons we are doing the interviews, so we can get snippets, and also eventually that you can go around the town and look at places, look at motels. I mean, we don't have the motels and stuff anymore, all of them, but you will have extra signs up saying this was where Punk's Patio, this is where the Skeeters were, this is where Miss Woods had her place, and Miss Woods is still Miss Woods' place is still there. All the DeWitt's places are still there, but there's some places there, but other places we would be able to put signs up so we can have a walking tour as well.
Miss Pat, I know that you mentioned, the residential piece as far as the growth in the homes that have been purchased, but has there been any more commercialization? Because I know that, people coming into Myrtle Beach is making their money because they can put heads in beds, as they say. They have the restaurants, they have the entertainment. When you go to Atlantic Beach, you have the beach, of course, but I'm sure people, could appreciate if there were a nice restaurant or, a place where you could go and dance or whatever. So are there any commercial starts that are coming?
This is what we're doing now. This is the phase we're in now. We are 30th Avenue, which is the main street for Atlantic Beach. We are doing all we can to encourage people to come back and to start businesses. We only have like 1 or 2 small businesses. So this is our strong urge now. You can build like a business downstairs, and then you can go up 2 more stairs and you can actually have residential. But this is what our main focus now. But we have had several people to buy lots on 30th Avenue with intentions. They will be very soon starting to build, and you will see commercialized things. And like you say, they have places where people can stay, and we are going to have more entertainment coming forth. We've had several, but right now we're just kind of in the development stages of that.
Is there an intention to attract Black-owned businesses specifically, or is this going to be open up to anyone who wants to own a business there?
Well, it's open up to anyone. Of course, we would love to have Black-owned businesses as well, but it's open up to everyone. Is welcome to come and to purchase. You can, it's open to everyone.
Well, I've got the info on the book of April, and it's by the Atlantic Beach Historical Society. And the author is Miss Sherry Shuttles.
What's the title of the book? I'm sorry.
The Atlantic Beach Historical Society. And right, and Miss Sherry Shuttles, she's the author. She did a magnificent job of gathering as many historical photos as she possibly could. She obviously had access to a number of different people for which to come back with those photos. And she has a narrative under each one, as you notice, and which I thought was very interesting. Okay, so so I bought the book from her, by the way, and wanted to share some of that with our people. So
very interesting book, and one of the things that I think it probably is the not the first page of the book. it's the lead-in for the book, but it talks about Roxy Ballin Tyson, um, whose dates were 1889 to 1973, and how she was the wife and business partner to George W. Tyson, a very successful seamstress, and that George Tyson was a naval reservist in World War I from Wilmington, an entrepreneur who owned Conway Cleaners, and a
Right.
laundromat. And
Absolutely.
he bought the Atlantic Beach land with family money, according to his nieces Barbara Ballin and Hazel Ballin Eagles. So yeah, starting with a small vision, and I mean, now I can't even imagine how much the land is worth down there, and what the families have just in historic value in the area. But this book also highlights like the Holiday Hotel built in the 1960 by the first Black female entrepreneur on the Grand Strand. Isn't that something? And other wonderful pieces that kind of tie it all together. And so there are some notables that are mentioned in the book as well. So if you can get a copy of the book, it would be great. And Brother Edward, I actually wouldn't mind having a copy of it myself. Um,
See if I can make that happen.
yeah, because I mean,
Um,
there's some people that are very familiar to us. There's the mention of the Johnson family, Mr. W.P. Johnson and his sons, and Franklin DeWitt, and the Kellys, the
Yeah,
Kelly lineage is
that's right.
is
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah.
And even the reference to Dr. Kelly's father, basically, that reference to the wealth of the English wealth as it relates to Dr. Kelly's father. I think they were, definitely trying to tie in the fact that, there were some connections to that, I guess, international. Um, what am I trying to say? I
yeah,
thought that the international connection that they were trying to depict in those pages or in this book was very interesting, and how the names of Black business owners were tied to the French and the German and all of that. So it's fast tell about our people, but also our impact on society, and right here in Horry County, in Atlantic Beach, starting in Atlantic Beach. So um,
I,
so, Ms. Pat, hopefully you all will have the opportunity to highlight that type of history whenever you are through the developments that you talked about earlier.
yeah. We are so thankful for Conway, because Conway was a strong backup
Mhm,
for us. And like you said, with that family, just imagine that this family here, they said wealthy men from England mostly colonized Horry County,
mhm,
and they had huge parcels to them. Kings and queens came to realize one cannot eat land, it has to be made to produce or be sold. And
mhm,
this is a quote from a Dr. Goff, Bedford. But yeah, the Kellys, and I mean, so many out of Conway was so important to us. And then Tyson, he actually lived, like you said, he had his business in Conway.
oh yeah,
And he
absolutely. 378.
had, okay, and then he
On
had the
Highway 378. Yes.
Black Hawk motel here. And they had many, like I said, the places where the PD Medical Association, where the doctors could meet and have meetings of fraternities and sororities, all of these. And they talk about the blacks and the whites, because whites could come. Blacks couldn't go there, but whites could come here, and they'd learn how to swing dance. And of course, now we got called the shag today, but it really started with this lady named Shag out of Myrtle Beach. And
mhm,
so you got the fishing things, fish days that they used to have here, and these are things that local people were involved in. They went got netting, like you in that picture you were talking about, the pulling
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
nets, yeah,
Right. Right.
pulling nets and fishing
Right.
on these harbors and stuff. These are places where I can't get them right there, but here's the net. I'm trying
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just loads of fish that they were catching.
yeah, those spots and mullets.
That's it.
This is the season for them to come
Oh
in
man,
right
yeah.
now.
it was.
They
Mhm,
would have
mhm,
those big back pots, and they would fry that fish, and they would the sweet potatoes, and those ooh, it would just be delicious. Coleslaw.
Absolutely.
They would have all kinds of festivities here.
Yeah. So I'll give much credit to those people that you mentioned, like Mr. George Tyson, the Kellys, so forth, for having that vision. I think we were blessed. We really were to have a place like Land Beach to go. Okay. And the fact that they had that vision to kind of forecast the entertainment for what the economy, the Black economy was. Okay. They did some good marketing. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we hear about the Black Wall Street Journal all the time. The Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But I think that this was thriving. Now, maybe not just as much, but it's way up there with them during that time period.
Well, and that was due to, nobody's to blame for that, except that we were we thought, I guess, that the horizon was better for all and for the future, and and that's worthy of discussion. But I think that was that was one of the reasons for the demise of Atlantic Beach. It was just that not that the hotels on Atlantic Beach were bad, but they saw things that the workers who came to Atlantic Beach, they worked at hotels that had much, quote unquote, better looking and had a lot of amenities that the Black hotels didn't have.
Yes.
Okay. So
when Hugo came along, that kind of like killed it too. I mean, Hazel. I'm sorry, Hazel came along in 1954. When Hazel came along, that destroyed a lot because a lot of them didn't have insurance to rebuild.
Right. Yeah.
And integration came along, and like you said, yes, they had better ones, but also everybody wanted to, like you said, venture off and see what else, whatever. Right. Those of us those who didn't work no more, what am I missing and all that. There were much more amenities and rides and stuff like that. Although they had rides and stuff for a while here, but it just went downhill because you had a bigger array. But one of the things we haven't talked about is the bikers, the Black bikers. That came and lasted for a very long time, from Memorial Day weekends, and still exists today. Thank goodness for them too.
So I saw a picture earlier that said, or that showed that Atlantic Beach's first Afrofest was in 1990, and I think this may even be a photo that is in the book that we're talking about. And it's just amazing how far the Afrofest has come and how it's evolved into Black Bike Week. And we can't deny that the attraction has actually brought millions of people here to the Myrtle Beach area. And again, to Brother Edward's point, though, the unfortunate part is that when it comes down to the commercial side of things, although Atlantic Beach vendors could benefit from people coming in to take advantage of the vendors, could not necessarily benefit from the hospitality and tourism side. So hopefully one day, I don't know if it'll be in our lifetimes, but that will change and Atlantic Beach will thrive. But Miss Pat, how many blocks now encompass that area? What is
4 blocks, but we're on the east side and we're on the west side.
Okay.
So many people know that the side by the ocean, but we are 4 blocks across the street as well.
Okay.
So and then you were talking about the Afrofest, and Miss Alice, she was one of them. They had the Alvin Haley dancers and stuff here.
Wow.
And it was awesome at that time. We would have high school students and kids come on busloads to come to see the performances when doing the Afrofest activities that they had going on. And I always tease about it. I said, one of the things too, of those days, you had the Air Force Base here as well. Air Force Base. And I don't care what you say about it. During those days, if men had on uniforms, that attracted women very much. And so
Still does.
Yeah, those uniforms, and well, you see somebody out in the field all day long, and this man got on a nice uniform. Many ladies got married just because they had a chance to come down. They danced with those guys, and many families were made.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, but
sure.
my history tells me that the Myrtle Beach Air Force Base was one of the major factors in the black economy in Conway and Myrtle Beach. Okay, the work the workers there, they had all kinds of jobs. They're low level jobs, but they were jobs. Okay,
Yes.
and I think Conway benefited greatly uh, from that, not just with the airmen themselves, but the the jobs that were there for everybody.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so I guess when they took it away, they didn't have that in mind. So that wasn't as important as, which is now the Myrtle Beach International Airport, by the way.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And the Market Commons.
In Market Commons.
Yeah, all that area encompassed
Uh,
the Air Force Base.
okay.
So, Miss Mallette or Miss Pat, tell us a little bit more about the project, and what do you all hope to ultimately accomplish and release to the public after this is all said and done?
When we get the interviews, we are, like I said, in the process of really trying to tell the full story. Our ultimate dreams one day is to have us a museum here. But right now, we are all of our materials that we are getting. Coastal have been very nice, and we are storing the stuff with Coastal until we get the funding for a museum, and so we can um, have museums and have like um, places where we can sell different things, like market the T-shirts and different artifacts that we have and pictures and stuff like that. But our ultimate dream is to have a legacy and to put it down in writing so that when you walk around or when you go into the place, there's going to be an actual place where you can Google Atlantic Beach and you can see pictures, you can see narratives, you can hear, but you can also see pictures, you can see, and you can also read narratives about the people. How did they survive? What was the success of it? What were some of the problems with it? Um, just to start to have a history, and so that we can see why it's so essential that we save this, because you don't have a township on the east that's a black beach
Mm-hmm.
Right.
besides this one. You have beaches, black beaches and things, but we are a chartered town and we're the only one left.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Miss McIver, thank you for watching tonight. She asked, "Do you have any tours set for the beach?
Any tour what?
Any tours set for the beach?"
If you call me, we will do tours. Yes, we don't have them set, no, but we are preparing and working on that. But I am doing some tours myself, taking people around. I've done that this summer with many people, many groups that are coming in, um, and taking them around and showing them some of Atlantic Beach, or most of Atlantic Beach. But we don't really have a tour guide person per se at this time. I guess I'm the designated one. Look like
You'll,
I'm the
you'll come to that. You'll get to that point.
yes, yes.
It will. It'll get to that.
We need a lot of volunteers. I can tell you, we can use a whole lot of more help because it's
So
just
tell people how they can volunteer. What would they volunteer to do?
well, they can volunteer with things I'm doing, like the interviews and stuff. What we're doing now,
Mm-hmm.
they can come and help us do tours, help us just. We're trying to modernize all the things in our office there, so we have people that can do anything with the computers to help us just update and get data and stuff put together. Any of the town planning, we're just doing a lot of grants, because we're trying to get grant money from everywhere. We want to put all the wires underneath the ground. We want to get sidewalks. So city planning, um, anything that we can do to enhance our town to get, like you said, have more commercialization
Mhm.
come into town. We're looking for motels that want to come into town. We're looking for event planners to help us do events. Um, you name it, whatever town need, we need it.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break and then we'll be back and we will wrap up our segment with a little bit more information about Atlantic Beach Telling the Full Story Project, the Full History Project, and with Pat Mallette. And we're so glad to have her here tonight to talk about our rich history, the Black Pearl. So we'll be right back.
Thank you.
All right. We are
All right.
back. Yes.
So, Miss Mallette,
Yes, sir.
you're still with us.
Yes, sir.
You're talking about the Black Pearl. And look, I read a little bit of unless you said it, and then I didn't hear it. The history of the word Black Pearl. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, the Black Pearl is a pearl that I forgot the numbers, but it's a very rare thing that you can find ever when you open up the shell. And the Black Pearl came from its uniqueness of it being special, so that when you open that, that's a unique and a rare thing. It's kind of like, the biggest diamond, the richest diamond that we're talking about, the Europeans have it. But the Black Pearl is coming from that. And since it was basically a black beach, and I guess they just used the pearl as a symbol of their strength and the uniqueness that they can survive.
Okay, yeah. I personally didn't hear about the word Black Pearl. I guess about 10 years ago. But has it always been that, by the way? I mean, even.
Well, yeah, I think it was like somewhat, and I have to look at the history of that, but it has always been a section called the Black Pearl. It wasn't all the whole Atlantic Beach, but they took on that logo later. But first, it was a part of the Atlantic Beach area, and I cannot recall off the top of my head. I apologize for that.
My understanding, when one of the thanks for those photos, April. They look good.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's from the Town of Atlantic Beach website. So you can definitely go to the website and find out more information about Atlantic Beach. Yeah.
And you said that this stretch all the way across 17, right? Going all the way back, because there's a community center back there, I believe.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah, community center.
There's several residents back there as well.
Yeah, and from what I read, I think that they had gotten a pretty good grant to build that community center back in 1990 something.
It's probably back in it. No, it's nearly 50 years old. So.
Oh, really?
It's back in the 70s at least.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah, the third Strong Thurman was one back in 1977. It says, and he helped build it.
Yeah, in this book, there's a photo that includes him in it, where he's standing there with the group with the shovel. I think they're breaking ground, I believe.
Yes.
So he must have been the primary contributor to that. Of course, he was a senator,
Yeah.
senator for a long, long time.
Oh Lord, yes, the longest living ones in history. Yes, he was.
Yeah, a long, long time. April, I thought that I extracted one photo where we had one of our, I would say our historic lawyers. It was a lawyer, Stevens. I think
Okay.
it was, yeah, there was a photo of him there.
Yes, he did that. He was the one that started the what you call it, the low income houses.
Or the low income or public housing.
Yes, yes, because he wanted to make sure that they would have a place as well.
Okay.
And so he was the one that was responsible for that. Yeah.
But unless my history tells me right, was he also one of the mayors?
I think it was. Yes, I think it was. Yeah. Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
I think that's what I read.
Yeah. And of course, Mr. Franklin DeWitt.
Well, he was also a mayor?
No, he wasn't a mayor, but he was a lawyer. He was a lawyer, our town lawyer.
Yeah. His contributions were magnificent, I believe.
Yeah, was. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
To there. So, because there's a connection there with the Johnson family, because that's Willa DeWitt, which was his wife.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And so that goes. I guess that goes way back. And again, I just applaud their vision that they had. I mean, I just think that was magnificent. That they took advantage of other people not wanted us to be around them. Okay.
Yeah.
So, they took
make it lemonade. Yeah, make it delicious.
Yeah. You think spot fish and croaker fish may have been as popular if it had always been integrated? I don't think so.
I don't know. I tell you what's delicious. I love it.
I don't think so.
Yeah, and I think Joe Montgomery was one of the mayors that was responsible for the community center being started as well. And he was a teacher as well, retired. Well, he's a retired teacher now, but he used to be a teacher.
Right. Okay, yeah. One of our batteries is
okay.
Kind of going low there, and we may have to cut this off maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes before the show. What do you think?
Yeah. So let's give Ms. Pat an opportunity to talk a little bit more about the project. Right. And Ms. Pat, if you can tell us again, for those people who are listening in now, Atlantic Beach telling the full history.
Yes.
Oral history harvest. I like that.
Yeah. So we want you to come and tell the story. And like I said, this coming Saturday, we will be doing it by Zoom. So I do need you to call me at my number or Miss Rosa Rooker. And my number is 843-360-9863. And Miss Rosa Rooker, her number is 678-427-1527. And the Zoom will be going on from 11:30 till 2 o'clock on Saturday. And then October the 22nd, we're going to be from 11 o'clock till 5 o'clock, and we will be located at the community center. Again, I would like for you to please give us a call so that we can have you, when you come, you know what time. We have an appointment for you, what time and where you will be stationed at in the community center. We would like to put you like a circle so we can have a discussion, because it's only going to be like 3 or 4 of us doing the interviews on that Saturday. And like I said, with the Zoom, there'll be 3 or 4 of us doing the different Zooms, but we got to put you into the Zoom. It's not the Zoom room, but the actual Zoom itself. So please call me. She has my number here. And I'll be glad to set you up an appointment, and would love to talk to you about the days that you danced, because I know you did. Many other people, so they danced their shoes off, their heels off. They just said that it was dancing all night long and just having the best of times. And I want us to tell that story so that generations to come, people will know that this is what happened. And yes, we are trying to bring some of those heydays back here. We are having people come on Sundays and stuff, doing it right now.
Yeah.
And so we want to have many more of those more weekends and weekdays where people can come and enjoy. And like I said, hopefully not way before we die, Miss April, that in the next few years, we will actually be able to go down Main Street and you will be able to have the life that we want, the commercial things that we want in this town.
So are you willing to share, or do you know any plans that the public does not know, and are you willing to share in those plans about the future in terms of projects to be expected? You know, and let me be blunt. I'll ask for a master plan. Does one exist?
We do have a master plan, and our master plan is to develop Main Street. Our master plan is to get the, like I said, to get the pavement, to get the sidewalks, to get the electrical power, just to get the town to look better, but also to bring commercial people in and to build the town up. There's a master plan, but I don't have it in front of me. But yes, there are plans for the future for this town.
I believe I saw it on the town's website. There's actually a strategic plan, and I believe it probably was I guess approved or adopted in 2017. It looks like it's a plan through 2027. So it'd be interesting to go through that document. It looked like it was pretty extensive, but you know, there's a table of contents, so you can go in there and see, I guess what's kind of planned or for as far as development and structuring in the town.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're looking forward to all that. I am. I know. I saw construction going on the one of the back streets. In fact, it seemed like two motels that were being built. That's what it seemed to be. It was a multi-story building, two multi-story buildings.
Okay.
On the street left of the main street.
Okay.
Or right of the main street. I'm sorry, as you're entering Atlantic Beach. So I don't know what street number it was. So.
Okay.
I don't know what street number, but it was good to see. It was good. I call that progress. Okay.
Yeah, there are many. Like I said, we got the people coming back, so I know that it won't. The thing, what we're doing, the realtors are now trying their best, and they have sold several lots there. So in the last year, I mean, this year here, 2022, has been several lots been bought on that main street. So they're going to be building it there, but it'll be very soon. So
yeah, that's good.
Just watch out. It's coming.
I'm so glad to hear that. So look, again, you've been one of the black pearls that we're so grateful to have on this program today. Because the story needs to be told, and you're going to tell it even more on Saturday, or you and other people. Yes. And on the other date is October 3rd or 5th or what?
October the 22nd.
October 22nd.
Yes, yeah. September the 24th, which is Saturday. Right. Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm anxious to hear that. They may even come up with some new photos. There's some photos out there someplace.
Yeah, we have lots of photos. As a matter of fact, I probably will try to pull up some more. And see that Miss Alice Addison, she will Adderton, and she will. She has lots of them. A lady named Miss Alice Graham, and she has lots of photographs. Other people do too, but yes.
Well, we're sharing this program. If they go to our website and look at this program again, then maybe that could be some impetus for that to happen, or catalyst, lack of a better word. Then they'll get the word out, and hopefully they can share those photos.
Yes, I'll ask her.
Yeah, we're going to share those photos.
Yes.
So, but anyway, look, again, so good having you on.
Thank you.
And when you have some more photos, you can come back.
I certainly will. I will. Thank
I
you.
didn't mean it like that.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Our pleasure. Our pleasure. Okay. So, thanks again. And April, you'd have a.
Yeah, thank you, Miss Pat. We really appreciate it and enjoyed the information. And thank you all for listening in and commenting, asking questions. We appreciate all of our loyal viewers, and pass the word on. Let them know that there are big things happening down in Atlantic Beach to preserve the history, the Black Pearl, as we call it. And Miss Pat, we definitely wish you many blessings in facilitating all of these wonderful efforts to tell the story. And so again, thank you, everybody. And we'll see you next Tuesday, 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
right here on Facebook and YouTube. And if pass the word, catch the rebroadcast on wcmagazine.net. So everyone have a good rest of the week.
Great
Thank
time.
Y'all come see us now.
All right. See, you're starting already. That's a good promo already.
Yeah. So it sounds like we need an official welcome center down there, Miss Pat.
Yes, we do.
We need an official welcome center.
Do you have grant money to do that?
We're working on that. Yes, we're trying to get it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
We're writing lots of grants.
Lots of grants. Yeah, absolutely. Because you're in this center. Okay, I know we're going to go April, but in this center, this welcome center, there's a lot of history that can be displayed. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. A lot of history be displayed. So I'm looking forward to that too. So you'll keep everybody abreast, right?
I will keep you. Yes, sir. Soon we get another one, I'll let you know.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Queen. And thank you, April.
All right. You're welcome. Everyone have a good night.
Everyone have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your host, Edward McQueen and April Garner.